Stream Protector getting a little bit of farm on in that top lane. He's got 1200 gold. It could go for an Aghanim Scepter. Could get the point booster right now if he chooses to. But instead, he's going to keep walking. There's a Tinker coming in. He pushed down the Martial Machines as well as some rockets. But I think that's going to be it as a Stream Protector quickly out of there. Pretty tanky hero. Doesn't really need to worry about a Tinker all that much. And the supports of the Dire, John Adam and Bear Peas, stand here in that mid lane. Alright, we are up to 4 viewers because now, I don't know, we the big time. Charge coming out by the Spear Breaker onto the Tree and Protector. And he sees him. There is the Dust used, but there's also a Phoenix here. As the Tinker comes in, uses the rockets, there's a swap in by the Vengeful Spirit. And Dedith is taking a bunch of damage. The Phoenix Egg goes out, and I think Dedith is in fact dead. As the Tinker not able to put enough damage output there. That's a kill on him for being a little bit too aggressive. However, it is space created as that is a 4-man rotation by the Radiant to stop that gank. Perhaps a little bit more room would be opened up on the map if the Dire could take some more towers. They do have the aggressive wards here, but the jungle hasn't really been farmed by the Radiant at all. So not really getting the ganks they could be. Following Ainsley Harriet here as he runs around the jungle towards that mid lane. Perhaps they're going to mount an offensive here onto that Dire tier 1 mid tower. Or maybe not. Maybe they're just going to stare at creeps. Maybe that's going to happen. Or maybe they could actually kill a tower. And I lost all my viewers. Hooray. John Addo. Gonna take a couple of slaps at those creeps, but Salsa's gonna finish him off. He's gonna take 1, he's gonna take 2, he's gonna take 3, and he's gonna take a 4th with that spectral... No, that's not a spectral dagger, it's a stifling dagger. Did it. Charge here from the Spirit Breaker onto Meepo. He uses the speed and he catches the Meepo mid-poof as the silence gets used as well as the Mystic Flare, and the Skywrath Mage is going to take the last hit on that Meepo. Caught out on the mid lane by the great wards from the Dire. And that's going to even out the kill score here at 5 apiece. 24 minutes in the game, not a very eventful game, but there have been a lot of creeps killed. The creep mortality rate is especially worrying here. That is so many creeps that have died. Look at that Phantom Assassin and Tinker, the biggest offenders here. Spread the word, guys. Creep mortality, it's a thing. Right then, so the Radiant are going to head towards with a 4-man rotation towards that top lane.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And they're hopefully going to take that top tier 1 tower. They will kill some creeps here.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified.
But I think that the Radiant will be taking that tier 1 tower.
Radiant
And in
structures
fact,
are
it will
fortified.
get last hit by the Meepo.
Dire's
As the
top
Radiant
tower is fortified.
have gone towards that mid lane. A nice overgrowth by the Tree Protector. And the Dedith is in fact dead. Salsa comes here with the BKB. He is trying to cleave through everything. He's going to kill the Bows with a nice crit. But this is probably going to be Salsa running away from the fight, as the Tinker's Martial Machine is not doing enough damage to the enemies. Venge getting on just a sliver of health. So let's take a look at that fight recap. Good. The mid tower is in deny range. And this lone Radiant range creep is going to take a fall here. Mid tower not denied yet. The Meepo probably does know about it. And so does the Dire, I'm pretty sure.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
So the Lion and Skywrath Mage are going to try to push this mid lane out with the haste rune from the Skywrath Mage and take this tower down. Yule Scepter from Bristleback onto some heroes as the mid tower is still going to remain here. Overgrowth just misses. That's the Treant Protector uses his Blink Dagger recently picked up to try to catch some people out. Unable to do so. And he now puts the Living Armor on somewhere other than the tower. That is nearly dead. The Fortify is used by the Dire, but to no avail as the tower goes down. So let's...
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, so they're using the Living Armor to heal up that tower. And from this point on, I am not sure where the Radiant are going to go. I mean, they have a tanky Bristleback, but this Phantom Assassin is only going to get bigger. Used her BKB in that last fight, which is now a 9-second duration, but she's only going to get stronger, and more crits equal mo fun. The Dire congregating around a Sentry Ward in their jungle, trying to figure out what their next move is going to be. Perhaps they think it would be wise to push that mid tier 1 and they might be changing their mind as the Spirit Breaker charge gets cancelled. Combat Wombat has a Bloodstone already. Also has his Soul Ring, which could have built into the Bloodstone, but he decided to get another one because he's just that awesome. He's going to be farming up the Radiant jungle as much as he can. There are a couple of Mud Golems there to deny him a little bit of gold.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And the Spirit Breaker charged onto Zambrella. The nice swap by the Vengeful Spirit is going to take the Phoenix out of range, and the Supernova is used, but the Dire are going to back up from that one, as even the Spirit Breaker could not take down that Phoenix there. I would like to see a little bit more teamwork as the Tinker TPs into the mid lane. He gets immediately Yulesed up, and the net will come out by the Meepo. Is this Combat Wombat a little bit too deep? In fact, he is, that the Overgrowth gets used, and Phoenix will take him down with the Sunray. Mechanism gets used, and this could be the opening that the Radiant need to do a little bit more damage in that mid lane. Let's take a look at our items. 2 Yule Scepters by the Radiant, as well as 2 Blink Daggers from G and Bowels. I think the Vengeful Spirit could also pick up a Force Staff in the near future. This Phantom Assassin trying to progress towards that Skull Basher. Well, there you go. Items. Lion will also be picking up a Force Staff in the near future, about 130 gold from that. And a couple Fire Spirits used by the Phoenix in the mid lane. Lion's going to suck the mana out of that poor range creep. And someone goes into the air. Salsa cleaves through a bunch of creeps. And the Martian Machines does a little bit of damage too. Skullbasher was picked up by the Phantom Assassin, who also has their ult available as indicated by the green diamond at the top of the screen, and immediately cleaves through those creeps. Let's take a look at our scores here. Skywrath Mage at the top of the KDA chart, 3-0-2. And not that many other kills on the board. TP in from Tinker. Combat Wombat quickly blinks away as a creep is uled up into the air. Let's take a look at our net worth here. Phantom Assassin and Tinker still leading the chart. And let's take a look at our graphs. Heavily, well, in favor of a bundle of 6 right now, 2,000. And for gold, it is also 2,000. Combat Wombat uses the Martial Machines, also has picked up a Dagon in the top lane. It misses the rockets. And immediately goes towards the top lane to use, you guessed it, Martial Machines. In case you were guessing. Phantom Assassin is getting scouted out here by a Vengeful Spear. Could stun her at any time. Skywrath Mage uses the slow stun, comes out onto Phantom Assassin. Nice force staff by the Skywrath Mage, and the Pipe of Insight was used by the Bristleback. Good swap in by the Venge, could do something, but in fact the War Turtle Wilson gets charged and silenced and dagoned, and Tinker takes the kill there. Mystic Flare on nothing as Phantom Assassin is trying to go in on this Bristleback, who gets living armored up by the Treant Protector, and the Spirit Breaker ultimate comes through. The Sun Ray doing a lot of damage, and the Poos coming in from the Meepo. Linger onto one of the Meepos as Salsa gets stunned up by the Phoenix and is going to go down here in a second to a bunch of punches from the Meepo and a Treant Protector. March of the Machines going all over the place. And I think the Radiant came out on top there. It was 3 kills to 1. And the damage done was immense by the Dire, but it wasn't enough as they all went down. Of course, Meepo skews things a little bit. There is quite a bit more damage to do there. But all you have to do is take down one of them. And if you can do that, you kill all the Meepos. Illusion Rune picked up by the Treant Protector in the bottom lane. And he's going to use that to scout a little bit. Tinker has picked up his Dagon too. And I imagine that he's going to be working on more. Smoke used by Bear Peas and Shot Addo. See if they do anything with it. They run back towards their own base. Skywrath Mage picks up an item. Some wards. Leaves Bear Peas in the dust, or rather the smoke. Drops a ward and a sentry. And the smoke is lifted, and the Martial Machines are there to greet him as he goes back to the mid lane. Dota finds the Treant Protector illusion in his own jungle and gets rid of that momentarily. And Salsa, still working on some items, has 305 last hits to her name, but not as many items as you would think. Invisibility, picked up by the Skywrath Mage, who doesn't have a TP right now. So perhaps this team is looking to be a little bit more defensive here, as they picked a ganking lineup and will not utilize it as much as they could. Spirit Breaker, about 500 gold away from a Black King bar. Dagon rockets used by Combat Wombat, and more Combat Wombat stuff is going around as the Feast goes down to about 70 health. Force staff from John Addo helps Combat Wombat out of a touchy situation. And the Martial Machines is going to push out that mid lane. Right then. So, why are there 130 people watching this game? Good question. 17 kills in 36 minutes does not really make for the most exciting game here. It has been quite the farm fest, as both these teams don't really feel like killing each other. The Dagon 3 has been picked up by Tinker, who is